Auntie P today. It's been a while. It's been a while. I know it's been a while. I've been so busy, and it's not an excuse, but I've been busy. I think since the beginning of since the last revision, traveled for Easter. It's been work after then other events came up. But we're back. We're back. Right now we are at lesson 4. I'll just go straight into lesson 4 and let us know what lesson 4 holds. Now, like I said during the revision, I may not be touching much on what has been studied earlier. We'll just move. We're in conversations now, daily conversations. For those who want to learn Chinese, you now know what's the daily conversations that are common. They may not be the harder ones, but the common one. Where are you going to? Have you eaten? Are you going out? Can you get me this? How much is this? Those daily conversations. Those are the classes we're going to be treating now. And like I implored you guys before, please practice. You can't study language and just write those things and forget. You can't. Learning language is not a wish. It starts from a wish or a desire, but then practicing is what makes it so, particularly for Chinese language. Now, it depends. If you want to learn the written Chinese, then you must learn the pinyin, which is the alphabetical writings before the characters, meaning you must know your tones, you must know your finals, you must know your consonants, you must know your vowels, you must know your initials. Those things are important. The tones as well. So you can choose correctly the characters you intend to write if you plan to do the written Chinese, assuming you want to learn to write Chinese. Now, if it's just for the spoken, well, you may not cram much of the character, you may not care much about the character. If you know how to pronounce your pinyin well, meaning you should just know your finals and initials and the tones. Once you can master those ones well, then it's okay because you are not writing, so you might not need to know which character you're trying to say or which one you're not trying to say. So today we are dealing with lesson 4. Now lesson 4 has to do with 你去哪儿? 你去哪儿? Did you see the way I said it? That's lesson 4. 第三、第四课 they are all fourth tones. 第四课、第四课. 你 you can see me saying 你 meaning is the third tone. 去 fourth tone. 哪儿 third tone. It matters a lot that we know that. 你去哪儿 which means where are you going? Where are you going to? You know, so that's what it means. So, in this class, we're going to be learning the days of the week. And even if it's not in the stuff, we're going to be learning the days of the week and some other common places we go to. So, it may not be in the notebook, but I will teach us some, and then we can memorize that. If I have to type it, I'll type it so that we would know, because we are Nigerians here, right? But the sample used in the book may be somewhere in Beijing, and so you're not going to Beijing, so we can use places like school, or we can use places like church, we can use places like market, you know, we can use places like cinemas, supermarkets, um, you know, hotels. So we can use those places, but we'll just learn the days of the week and places people go to. So we'll see that. So Nichunar is where are you going to? So let's start with the conversation. A has to do with 今天星期几?今天星期几?今天星期几? If you look at the tone, Jin, first tone, Tian, first tone, Shi, first tone, Qi, first tone, Ji, third tone. I'm taking my time to do that because we're in conversations. Now, conversations are a bit short. So I want us to understand, when you become an intermediate or a professional speaker, I don't need to say Jin, Tian, I just Jin, Tian, Ji, It's a bit fast. That's why I say when the Chinese are speaking, they speak fast, but they know what they're saying because the tones are intertwined into it. But since we're learning, we take it gradually. Jing, Tian, Qing, Shi, Xing, Xing, Xing. That's Xing. The first word is the X-I-N-G. Xing, Qi, Qing. The Q, I told us before that the S sound like sh. The Q is like sh. You need to know that. So Jin, Tian, Xing, Qi, Ji, which means what day is today? Or today is what day? What day is today? Today is what day? B is saying Jin, Tian, Qing, Qi, R, which means today is Tuesday. Qing, Qi, R is Tuesday. Now, if you want to know the days of the week, you have to be conversant with your 1 to say 7, but let's say 1 to 6 because 7 is a different character. But the last time I told us, I said 1 means E. In our former lectures, in our previous lectures, it's there. 1 is E, 2 is R, 3 is San, 4 is Si, 5 is Wu, 6 is Liu, and 7 is Chi. So the reason why I said we need to learn 7 or 6 is because sometimes you can use Qing Chi Tian or Qing Chi Chi in Chinese, but most times they use Qing Chi Tian, most times. So they don't use day 7. They use Tian means Evans. So I don't know, the kind of I don't know, who knows? It might just be, the way God works. Even though the Chinese will tell you they don't believe in God, their Sunday has a connotation of some Evans in it, like Qing Chi Tian. Tian is Evans. So you can understand that. I leave it for you to understand that. So Jintian Qingqi Ji, I can say Jintian Qingqi E. Qingqi E is Monday. Qingqi R is Tuesday. Qingqi San is Wednesday. Qingqi Si is Thursday. Qingqi Wu is Friday. Qingqi Liu is Saturday. Qingqi Qi or Qingqi Tian, like I said, they use Tian most times. Qingqi Tian is Sunday. So for those learning, and it's written there, Jintian, the first word in B is Jintian, which means today is. And I told you before, Chinese has a character for is, but because of the way they converse and they communicate, they don't communicate with every characters being spelled out or every word being spelled out. They communicate in short words and people understand. You can say Jintian Shi Qingqi Er. Is in Chinese is Shi. Now I'm going to try to write the character so that we can see what I'm trying to do. This is the character for she in Chinese. This is the character for she in Chinese. So I'm going to write, this character is the character for she in Chinese. Let me make it bold so that you see. This is the character for she. The pinyin is this, SHI. You can see. I know the one to choose. This one is for time. The number 2 is time. The number 3 means something like honest. The number 4 is when something is wet. The number 5 means 10. Shi in Chinese is also 10. Then the number 6 means wrong also. This X means wrong. Ni shi la, you're wrong, And this shi here means work, office. So if I don't know the characters and the meanings, I would not be able to explain it. But I'm looking for the character that is, which is is. And so my is happen to be this one. So what I'm looking for is is. And that is the character. Now, ordinarily, in Chinese, they are supposed to say, if it's English, today is Monday. The is will be there in English because we use, if I say today Monday, you say I spoke a wrong English. But in Chinese, there's nothing like a wrong Chinese except when your tone, your vowels, and your consonants, which we call finals and initials, are not in tune. That is the only time that you say you spoke a wrong Chinese. But in terms of using short words to explain something, Jintian Qingqi Ji, ordinarily if it is English, today is what day? That's what it will be. So there will be Jintian Shi Qingqi Ji. But no, if you say it like that, they'll tell you, what did you just speak? But when you say Jintian Qingqi Ji, is today is what day? So the is there in English. But in Chinese, the is is not there, but that sentence is absolutely correct. Then when you're responding as well, you don't put is. Just go to Jintian Chinchi R, today, Monday. That's the meaning of that. Jintian means today. R means, Chinchi R means Tuesday. Jintian Chinchi R. Jintian Chinchi San. Jintian Chinchi Si. Jintian Chinchi Liu. Jintian Chinchi Tian. You know, like that. So you can see in the response they wrote Jintian Chinchi R. R means Tuesday because R means two, day two, Tuesday. E is Monday. Jintian Qingqi E, Monday. Jintian Qingqi San, Wednesday. Jintian Qingqi Si, Thursday. Jintian Qingqi Wu, Friday. Jintian Qingqi Liu, Saturday. Jintian Qingqi Tian, Sunday. So that's the response. So somebody is asking you, today is what day? And you're like, today is Tuesday. And then the person said, where are you going to? Ni Chunar. That's the second line, the third line. Ni Chunar. And you're saying, Wochu Tiananmen. Tiananmen is a place in China, is in Beijing. Tiananmen is one of the historical visit sites, one of those places that have stories of Beijing, either during the war or something like that. I think whenever they want to swear in the new president or so, they go to Tiananmen. That's like their, what do we call our own Eagle Square? That's like their own Eagle Square in China. So Tiananmen. So it's a place. Wochu Tiananmen. It's a place in China, just like Eagle Square is a place in China. So Wochu Tiananmen, that's the first place. Then they said, Ni Chu Bu Chu, are you going or not? So you asked me, Ni Chu Nar, I respond, Wochu Tiananmen, Ni Chu Bu Chu, are you going or not? Then the response is, Bu Chu, Wo Hui Shui Xiao, Wo Hui Shui Xiao, meaning I'm not going, I'm going back to school. I won't go, I'm going back to school. So we learned this before. Zai Jian, Zai Jian. Let me just say that again. In Chinese, when you start in the first three words, you must learn because you need those courtesy. Is xie xie. Xie xie means thank you. Ni hao means hello. You must learn those words. But ni hao is your first. You want to stop a Chinese, you want to greet a Chinese. Ni hao is the first word. Ni hao. Xie xie is thank you. And zai jian is bye bye. See you later. Bye bye. So we've done that in previous classes. We're not going to be explaining it so much here. Though when we get to new words, they might be repeated. I just thought to repeat it again. So, but today we are dealing with where are you going to? Nichunar. So in addition to the Nichunar, we decided to do the days of the week. The days of the week. And the days of the week is Qing Chi. Qing Chi means week. So that's it. There's another word they use. They use Zhou. Zhou. This is the character for the Zhou, which means week in China. Another word for week. Zhou. Can see my character because I know the spellings. I can easily choose the right one. This is Zhou, and this is the Zhou. This Zhou means week. This Zhou means I think ocean. Yes, this is the one that means ocean. This one, this particular one. I don't know the other characters as you can see because I've probably not used them, but I know the one for ocean. I know the one for week. So probably there will be other Joes as well that I would be familiar with if I have used them. So there are so many characters in Chinese, so you can't really say you know everything, but know the one you would use. That's all I would say. You can't put everything in your head. They're so all these characters, as you can see, as I change them, they are all Joe. But you have to know the Joe that you're. So the Joe I need is this Joe, which means week. This particular Joe is the one I'm going for. So Joe also means week. Chinchi means week as well. Joe means week. Chinchi means week as well. So both of them are week. So you can say Joe E, Joe R, Joe San, Joe Si, Joe Wu, Joe Liu, Joe Tian, or Joe Chi. But they use Tian most of the time. Although if you say Joe Chi, they will know what you're trying to say, but they use Tian most of the time for Sunday. Just like they say Qingxi, Qingxi E, Qingxi R, Qingxi Tian, Qingxi San, Qingxi Liu, Qingxi Wu. Those are some of the things we use. Just thought to reiterate that So please master that. Your week, your days of the week. Ni chunar means where are you going to? Ni chunar. Now, let me explain something about the nar. You can say ni chuna and stop at na. It will still mean the same thing, but the R, the letter R in that word is an addition to stress the difference between uh, a different type of na. I don't know how to explain it in the way that you understand. Now, there are different types. If you write nichuna, singularly, this character means na. I would rather type so you see. When I say na, there are different type of na. This na means to take something. This na is the one that is where. But when you add this to it, it stresses it. Now, it makes you know that first, it gives you the question stress, just like we used to say ma. That's how this R is. It puts that question to it. If you don't add it and you're true now, it's correct. It's still where are you going to? But when you put this, it gives it the question mode, like just like when you say ni hao ma. You know, instead of just ni hao, you say ni hao ma. Kind of stretches it to make it know it's a question you're working at. So I just thought to stress that in case in some places you just say nichuna, there's no R, there's just nichuna. It's okay. So don't take it, it's not a big deal whether the R is there or not. But it's still the same thing. Where are you going to? Ni is you. Chu, go. Na, where. So if I say you go where, that's what it means in literal English translation. But in proper English translation, what they're trying to tell you is that where are you going to, or where are you going? I'm going to Tiananmen. I'm going to Tiananmen. Are you going or not? That's ni chu, buchu. Are you going or not? I'm not. You can see in this I'm not, there is no war. War means I. There is no war. It's just buchu, not going. You know, there is no, in English, you might want to put, no, I'm not going. Are you going or not? Because there is a you say, I'm not going. Usually, we will hardly just say, not going. Are you going or not? Not going. Usually, in normal English language, it won't be accepted. Maybe for conversation, just speaking, they may take it, but in normal English language, it will not be considered accurate. So they say what shu shui xiao. That's why I say we can learn other words like shui xiao, jiao tang. Jiao tang means church. Xiao shi means supermarket. Shi chang, shi no xiao shi, yes, xiao shi means supermarket. Shi chang means market. That's the normal local market. Uh, uh, which other place can we think about? Hotel means Jiudian. Jiudian. If you're going to cinema, you might be, they don't do much of cinema there, but I think it's similar to something like Jinju, something like that. Then, of course, we've talked about school. School is Shuishao. Shuishao. That's school. Uh, Going home means Ja, Wachu Ja, 我回家. Instead of saying 我回学校, you can say 我回家,我回酒店,我回超市,我回市场,我回教堂,我回 mosque. Mosque is mosque. You know, so those are some of the places you should know or you would know as we progress because they will come, all those places will come up. So, Zaijian, Zaijian, the person said goodbye, goodbye. So, for learners, you should learn your pinyin and memorize the characters or even like try to scribble the characters. Let me make this big. You should learn or even try to scribble the characters. Jintian Qingqi Ji. I'll tell you about Jintian Qingqi R. Qingqi Yi. Qingqi San. Qingqi Si. Qingqi Wu. Qingqi Liu. Qingqi Tian. Ni Chu Nar. Where are you going to? 我去天安门. Ni chu bu chu. Bu chu. 我回学校再见再见 end of conversation at this point. So let's see some other things. We've discussed about this before. Doebuchi means sorry. We discussed it before. Doebuchi, as you can see, what brought about the doebuchi? In this place, somebody is carrying a cake or a gift or something, and a child is playing with a kite, not looking at his front. It bumps into the person carrying the gift, and apologies comes in. So that's what they are trying to teach. This is another word formation. Playing, you hit somebody. What do you say when you step on somebody's toes, when you push somebody? What do you say? In Chinese, in English, we say sorry. In Chinese, this is duibuchi. Duibuchi means sorry. Mei guanxi, is when somebody bumps into you, for example, and then he says, "Oh, sorry, so sorry, I'm so sorry." You say, "Ah, no, never mind, it's okay, it's fine." In English, it's okay, it's fine, never mind. That's mei guanxi in Chinese. Or bu keqi. They can either use bu keqi or they'll say mei guanxi. Bu keqi goes as thought. Bu keqi. So it's this. It's either they say 不客气 or they say 没关系. So it's one of them. So you can see me writing my characters because I'm used to them. 没关系. I know the characters so I can know the one I'm looking for. There are several characters that could mean this. So 没关系. So it's either you say 不客气 or you say 没关系. When somebody tells you sorry, it's either you say 没关系 or you say 不客气. So now we go to new words. Today we learned Jintian. Jintian means today. Tian means day. The reason why they say it means day is because tomorrow means 明天, which is tomorrow. As you see, they didn't say tomorrow day. But what they're trying to say is that the tian in front of it just connotes the days. Then 后天 means the day after tomorrow. 昨天 means yesterday. So do you see why I said tian? But another meaning for tian has something to do with evenings. For example, if I say qing chi tian does not mean weekday, because now you can see qing chi in number 2 means week. Qing chi in number 2 means week. So if I say qing chi tian, it doesn't mean weekday. It just tells us tian means heavens. There's another word that has to do with heavens in tian. So, but also another word. And who knows, that tian may be second tone, third tone, fourth tone, fifth tone. But the character is the same virtually though. So that's why I think it is when it is added to something else, it means heavenly. So just thought to clarify that. But take it as it is in the book. Jin tian means today. Tian means day. And you hardly use day. For example, when they say, what day is today? What day is today? They'll tell you, Jintian, what day is today? Which what we just studied. What day is today? It will mean Jintian Chinchiji. They are not going to say Jintian Shamatian. Shamatian means what day? Shama means what? Tian now, they say Tian is day. So if you ask me literally, Tian here, don't take it for what it is. It's just trying to tell you that the adding of tian in things is trying to demonstrate days. For example, 昨天 yesterday, 明天 tomorrow, 今天 today, 后天 next tomorrow. So I hope we get that. Then number 2, 星期. 星期 means week. 星期一 Monday. 星期二 Tuesday. 星期三 Wednesday. 星期天星期四 Thursday. 星期五 Friday. 星期六 Saturday. And 星期天 Sunday. Then number 3, G means how many, what, several. You can use it for different things. Jiga. When somebody say jiga means how many. Chinchi ji, what day, R means 2. San means 3. We did it before. Si means 4. Nar means where. Na means there. You can see the difference between these two. They are both na, but you can see that it's different because this first one, number 7, is a third tone. Number 8 is a fourth tone, and they mean different things. So if you want to say nichunar, you have to say nichunar. You have to stress the third tone. If you say nichuna, it means there, there are you, or there are you going, you know, and it's supposed to be where. So you're using nar, not na. Wo means I or me. Hui means to go back, to return. Shui shao means school. Zaijian means goodbye. Duibuchi means I'm sorry, sorry, excuse me. Meiguanshi, doesn't matter, don't mind, it's all right. So Tiananmen, like I said, is the name of a place, the name of a square. Still, we're still dealing on some of the initials. This one is Jin, Jin, So we did it before, and then there were so many R, Hua, Ho, Hui, He, Huan, Heng, Heng, Heng. We did it before, and the combinations of all these finals and finals and initials, the initials being the Z, the C, the S, and all these finals can be mixed with this to produce something and mean something. We talked about this. These are how to learn the finals that merges with what's initial to be able to form words in Chinese. So this we discussed at the beginning of the class, but for every class, it is good that you understand how it is being pronounced and see how some words comes in. For example, Arton means children, RZ means son, RG means earphone, R by means 200 because by is 100. R means 200. So it's just explaining and explaining. As time goes on, these things are in soft copies. I can always send it across for those that are really interested in learning, so they can get the textbook and by themselves practice. Honestly, it's soft copy, so it's not a problem. We can always send it across. So we're talking of exercise, this new word. I told you this is the first tone for R, 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 R. So they're like, which one? You can say the second tone is this R. When they say nichunar, R is the second tone, this first one. Then R, which is 2. R is the fourth tone. San is first tone. S is fourth tone. Nar, there are 2 nar. One is the fourth tone, which is there, and nar is where, second tone. Hui is the second tone. Shui is the second tone. Xiao is fourth tone. Z, this first Z is child, son, R Z. Then this third Z is letters, and Z, letters. So that's the first and the second. So you can see, even though they have the same finals and initials, they carry different tones. And because they carry different tones, they are most likely meaning different things. There are some that might carry the same tone, but the characters are different, so they mean different things. 没关系, fourth one, doesn't matter. So these are new words, new words, new words we can learn. So if you've learned everything, if you see these characters, you should be able to recognize them. This one is Jingtian, this is Mingtian, this is Zuotian, this is Zaijian, this is Chunar, this is Chunar, this is Chu Yinhang, this is Chu Youju, this is Chu Tianhanmen, 对不起，没关系。星期一、星期二、星期三、星期四、星期五、星期六、星期天、星期几。星期几 is what day. It doesn't mean it's a question. 星期几. Now, this is what we learned. It is assumed that you have practiced and you know your characters now. So, A is 你去哪? And the response is 回学校. 你回不回? 不回. 我去天汉门. If you notice, they twisted the first one we did. Where are you going to? I'm returning to school. Are you returning or not? I'm not returning. I'm going to Tiananmen. Bye bye, or goodbye. Goodbye means the same thing. 对不起, 没关系. So now it's in English. They want you to put it, what you've just learned in Chinese, you want to practice it as in alphabet. In alphabet, putting the right tones. That's the idea. So it's also important that you do these exercises. Closing whatever you have learned earlier and just do the exercises. The first one is Nichunar. You can put anything there, but if you want to write what is in the book, what they did there was Nichunar. It could be Wachu Tianhanmen, and so it means you have to write Wo, and you put the third tone, Chu, the QU with the fourth tone, Tianhanmen. You write a Tian. Tian is the first tone, Han is the fourth tone, Man is the third tone or the silent tone. Depends on because sometimes some tones are silent. Let me see from okay, I'll check it later. We're just doing this thing now. Okay, Tianhanmen is the second tone, so it's not silent. It's the second tone. Tianhanmen, second, listen. If you want to use Tianhanmen, but then if you want to use Shui Shao, Shui is a first tone, Xiao is a fourth tone. Ni Chu Bu Chu, Bu Chu, Wo Hui Shui Xiao. Then Zaijian Zaijian. Then say the other one is Nichunar, starting Nichunar, 我去天安门，去不去？我不去，回学校，再见，再见. It's just to practice. Then 对不起，没关系. This text with the English and tone is to see how you can recognize the right tone. Is to test your ability to know if you know how to pronounce with the right tone. So it strengthens your pronunciation and ability to know the tones. So with that, we should be done for the class today. This one is 我问你们回答好吗？我问 means I asked. 你们, a lot of people are there, so it's like you people. 你们 means a lot of people, not just 你 means one person. 你们 means like a classroom. The students all together say 你们, you, those of you there. 回答 respond to me, reply. So 我问 it means I asked, you people respond. Is that okay? Because you can see they say classroom Chinese. It means the teacher will tell us 我问你们回答好吗? 好吗 means okay. Then you guys will reply. The student will reply how. So it's like me responding to you. 我问你们回答好吗? Then you say how. 对不对 means correct or not. 对了 correct. Don Lama, this is a teacher. For a teacher, if a teacher wants to teach, so this is just a classroom, whatever. If you were in a class like you guys are here, and let's assume we could see each other as an open class, I'll tell you guys, well, when I ask, meaning I will ask a question, and you guys will respond. Is that okay? That's what the first line means. 我问你们回答好吗? Then the student will respond how. Then let's assume I finish asking the question and I say 对不对? 对不对 means correct or not. And you guys will say 对了, meaning it's correct. Then Don Lama means do you understand? And then when you say Don La means I understand. Bu Dong means I don't understand. You put a bu in front, that's the bu, the dash, and say Bu Dong means I don't understand. When you understand, you say Don La, Don La. And these are ways of writing the characters if you want to learn to write the Chinese characters. So these are ways of learning, and that will be all for lesson 4. My chat room is open. If anybody needs this textbook, can be sorted online, although some may require some payment and all, but I already have it, so I can always forward to those who are serious with learning so they can be practiced and we can have the opportunity to read what's there. Because as we progress and we finish this textbook, the next textbook we might be going to may not have pinyin. It will be pure character. So at that time, it is important that you understand what has been taught, so that I try not to make my videos too long, 30 minutes plus, so that we can keep it simple. I hope we enjoyed today's class. I tried as much as possible to keep it simple, but like I said, and I will always say it at the end of each class, practice, practice, practice. Language is not something you wish. It's something you can't just say, "Oh, I love the way they speak this thing. I love it. I want to learn." You have to learn. After each class, I expect you to learn the new words. I expect you to practice it. Thank God for AI and other sites where you can translate and do all those things. Use them productively, and before you know, you start speaking this language. It's okay to make mistake at the early stage. I still make mistakes now. I'm not a Chinese, but at least I also still communicate well with the language. It's like me wishing to learn French and then never going to a French class, or even if I go to a French class, I don't practice after the class. I wouldn't learn. I remember when I was studying Chinese, I had to practice after class, go to the market, try to speak some of those things I've learned in class, and it was okay. So I would advise that we do same. Although it would be easier if you walk around the Chinese environment. So when you finish learning, you go to say you go to work and you can practice. I tried learning Italian language one time, and because I worked with Italians, I was practicing and trying to do well. But the moment there was no Italian to speak the language with, I kind of got out of it. So language also needs constant practice, particularly with people you can speak with all the time. Then it can master. But even with that, your daily practice helps you build the words. And when you have the opportunity to express, then you express. I hope this ends this class. We've learned one or two things. Hopefully, we'll be seeing ourselves hopefully next week. I want to try to keep the pace of the weekly lessons, but just in case work topples and I can't do much, we'll try to find time. So see you again. It's Auntie P here. Bye for now. Thank you.